Good day and God bless. Welcome to the March installment of Breadcrumbs. I pray this time has been beneficial to you and a blessing to you and an opportunity where you can build and build to be better. As you know, we are in the Lenten season, and because of that, I've made it a goal to meet with you every Monday morning in the morning meeting to briefly check in on your experiences as we go through this time. Also, remember that every month you can catch me here with a word that will help impact and hopefully encourage you in the next place that God has called you to. And for your leisure, Breadcrumbs or Our Father's Table has started a podcast called Vantage Point. Join me as a co-host to Troy Jennings for the Vantage Point as we talk about various topics of things for your leisure. A chance to change. My brothers and my sisters, everybody at one point or another has experienced an opportunity where they just wanted change. Change in location, change in occupation, change just here or there. We've all experienced a moment of change. Not only have we all experienced a moment of change, but we can all speak to at least 365 days that we last recently had that have brought about so many different changes for us. Change is biblically defined to cause to turn from one state to another. It is when you shift how you process a thing and or move in what God has called you to by way of altering something about you. It is the change that happens inside of you. It is that change of disposition, that change of countenance, that change of how you respond to those things. Change is also biblically defined to put one thing in the place of another. It is to change something to you. It is what the Word of God speaks of when it talks about exchanging heaviness for the garment of praise. Change is also biblically defined as the ability to quit one thing or state followed by action. It is that change that happens around you. Change is not always easy, but change is powerful. I've shared all of this with you because this drops us into the Word of God. It is in Jeremiah chapter number 18 that Jeremiah receives a word from the Lord, and that word is to go down to the potter's house. When you go down to the potter's house, I have a message for you. If I really had time to really talk about it, I'd help encourage you that sometimes change can only happen when you make up in your mind that you will take the opportunity to reposition yourself. He tells Jeremiah to go down so he could hear. And sometimes what God will do to you is he'll make you reposition yourself so that you can hear him in another way. When Jeremiah gets down there, he sees this potter at the wheel, and he sees that it is clay that is marred. One of the things I want to first hopefully encourage you about is just because it is marred does not mean it is not moldable. Stop allowing those blemishes and those scars and those things about you keep you from feeling like you can never be better. God says if it can be marred, it can still be moldable. God still has use, need, and opportunity to not just cover the blemish, but to completely remove it. The next thing that he tells him to do is that he also sees that while he is down at the potter's house, that he also sees that he keeps changing it to where it's best seem fit. And sometimes you've got to give yourself and allow yourself the opportunity to evolve. You've got to get to a place where you disarm the enemy and allow yourself to experience authentic change. Not only does he see it marred in the potter's hands, not only does he see that the potter keeps changing it as best seem fit, but lastly, all of this happens in the potter's hands. That ought to be good news to somebody, because though change is necessary and though change does come, it can only happen in the potter's hands. I'm so glad that even in my moments where change happens, even in those opportunities where change is required, that God still keeps me in his hands, that there is nothing that can happen to me that will take me out of the hand of God. God. I've shared all of that with you to lastly say it is in that moment that he is asked one specific question. And that question is, God says to Jeremiah, can I not do this with Israel? He gives Israel an opportunity to change. He gives them a chance to be better. The ability to change and be better in this season is an awesome opportunity that we all need to take advantage of. Change in how we think, change in how we process, change in how we function. What God says to Jeremiah is, can I not do that with you? You just need a chance to change. You need a chance to be better, a chance and an opportunity to grow. And you can do all of this, and you can do all of this in God's hands. I pray that you've been encouraged to know that everything that is happening to you can change who and what God has called you to be, because God can do anything once it's in his hands. As always, maximize your existence, and I will see you next month.